Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we are going to be exploring some more mysteries with Micah's body if you actually can remove it from Mount Hagen. I'm going to be trying some experiments that I thought of that I didn't get to in the last video, and by far the most popular request that probably so many of you guys message me either on Facebook or in the comments that I should do with his body. It's something I'd never even noticed before. So in case you guys missed my video yesterday, as I'm sure you guys know by now, you can find Micah's body on top of Mount Hagen if you've completed the final mission of the epilogue, American Venom. And the first time you visit, you'll be able to grab his revolver, and that's it. You won't be able to move his body or anything like that. However, if you sleep for like any amount of time, it can be like 3 hours or 16 hours, and you return to the hideout, you'll be able to move his body. I'm not sure if it's a glitch or if it's the progression of, being able to do things with the body. I'm not too sure. But all I know is that you can pick it up, and that gives us the freedom and flexibility to essentially do whatever we want with Micah's body. Now, in yesterday's video, I suggested that you guys can do a ton of things, but all of them sort of centered around revenge. Like, what if you put him in a pig pen, or you basically took him to the swamps and fed him to the alligators, or put him in a geyser or dropped him off a mountain. But by far, the most popular thing that I heard in the comments and on my Facebook page is that you guys wanted me to bring him back to Beecher's Hope. And the more I thought about this, I thought this would be really, really cool, because we've tried this in the past with other characters, like just normal enemies, and it was so funny to see like Abigail's reaction. What would Uncle do? What would Jack do? Would Rufus try to attack Micah's body? Because we know how much the rest of the gang, including Abigail, Jack, and Uncle, despise Micah. So I thought that would be an awesome experiment to see what would happen. Now, by far the trickiest thing to do when transporting Micah's body is anytime you're spotted by someone, you're going to get wanted. Now, I don't know why this is the case, because technically we're just transporting a dead body. I don't know if there's a crime against transporting dead bodies. I mean, also technically we did kill Micah, so I guess it is murder, but it was murder a long time ago. And now we're just moving the body of our murder. But anytime you pass someone on the road, you are going to be investigated and wanted for your crimes. So just keep that in mind, that it is a little bit tricky, although you can use cheats if you want, and it's also kind of easy to get around the wanted level. But anyways, we wanted to bring this to Beecher's Hope. That was the objective for today. Now, I wanted to do this during the daytime, so what I did is I ended up sleeping till the morning, and this actually made me figure out something interesting. Number one, Micah's body, even though he is no longer on Mount Hagen, will continue to accumulate snow. So this is another reason why I think this is a mega glitch, because there's no snow where we are right now, obviously in Great Plains, West Elizabeth. So I think that there is a progression system to Micah's body where it'll just get more and more covered in snow, and then eventually it disappears. So that might be something for a future video, seeing what happens to Micah's body if you literally just wait on top of Mount Hagen. But I did find that to be kind of interesting, that even though we were not in the snow, his body was accumulating more and more snow. So once I had actually taken care of the bounty hunters that were coming after me, I decided to bring Micah's body to the front of Beecher's Hope. And it was time to bring him inside. And I was super optimistic about this. I was very excited about bringing him to Uncle, doing all sorts of funny stuff with Abigail. And literally, the second I stepped foot in Beecher's Hope, I got this notification on the screen. And I didn't even know this was a thing. You are unable to bring dead humans into camp. I didn't even realize that was a thing. So if someone's dead, you cannot bring them into camp. So what happened is I put Micah's body on the ground and I was unable to interact with it. I also got negative honor. Apparently, bringing a dead human to camp gets you negative honor or dishonorable points. I didn't even know that. Now, I would also recommend you guys don't try this for yourself, because if you do that, you lose the ability to pick up Micah's body. And because you can't lasso it, you have no way to get it back. So it's literally just stuck there on John's property, and you can't do anything about it. Now, after that happened, I spent some time on Beecher's Hope, and I wanted to see if I could run across Abigail and still get some lines of dialogue. Like, would she say, "John, why didn't you bring that body into camp?" or "Why did you get that thing out of here right now?" But unfortunately, there was no new unique lines of dialogue that came about because of that. So I actually wanted to go back and return to the body, and when I did, it had mysteriously vanished. So I'm just going to assume that this happened because things despawn in Red Dead Redemption 2 and not because someone went on John's ranch and moved Micah's body. But I will admit that was a little disappointing, the fact that I actually couldn't bring it back to the actual campgrounds. But I guess Rockstar did think of everything, and they didn't want you to be doing things that seemed a bit unreasonable. And I guess bringing the dead body of your mortal enemy back to your home is a little bit unreasonable. I was really hoping that even though we couldn't bring the body into Beecher's, that it would just stay there over and over and over, and that every time John left the ranch, he would be constantly reminded of Micah's just dead body right there. But I guess because it was a stranger, again, and that has to go with the fact that when you pick him up, it says stranger, Rockstar probably thinks the body is just some random NPC and no one all that special, which is why it likely disappeared the way it did and didn't hang around. However, I was not done there yet. I wanted to still continue to do some more experiments with Micah's body, and I went back up to Mount Hagen and I wanted to try a few more things. Now, the first thing I noticed is that wolf we talked about yesterday, wolf or coyote, whatever the case is, every time I seemed to come visit Micah, it would spawn on his body. So that has to be a reoccurring thing. Someone messaged me the other day, and they also said that if you go inside of his little hideout, you'll find rats in there, which is supposed to be symbolic of Micah, but it's an abandoned watchtower or hideout, so maybe rats would be in there anyways. I don't know. You could maybe connect the dots. I'm not too sure. But anyways, we returned back up to Mount Hagen, and I wanted to try a few more experiments. The first experiment I wanted to try was with our good friend Dynamite. So I love putting dynamite on things, and I noticed I had 7 or 8 sticks of dynamite. So I put Micah in the center here, and basically what I did was I just essentially created a ring of fire of dynamite. I wanted to see if we could literally send his body over the mountain or off the cliff. So I set all of them down and I lit them off, and it created a big explosion, but Micah's body remained untouched. Literally, there was no difference there. So I was thinking to myself, okay, what could we do next? Let's try a fire bottle. Now, I noticed when I tried to throw the fire bottle, you cannot directly shoot or put something on Micah's body. However, luckily, fire spreads quite nice, so just throwing it down right next to him caused his body to erupt into an inferno. Now, this was horrifying because it actually burned and charred his entire body. I don't know if you guys have seen Star Wars Episode 3 when Anakin gets lit on fire after fighting Obi-Wan, but he looks like this. He's got no hair. His face is all burnt up. It was so creepy to see a bald, burnt, crispy version of Micah, who once again, this entire time still is stranger. We can't actually pick him up as Micah. So I found that to be kind of interesting. I also tried to lasso him up here, but that was unsuccessful. And I tried to think of a couple of other things that I could do, but there really wasn't anything else. So I decided to just dump his body off the cliff, seeing if it would roll all the way down. And it made it a couple feet down, but nothing crazy ultimately happened. So at the end of the day, that is what happens if you try to bring Micah's body back to Beecher's Hope in Red Dead Redemption 2 once you've completed the final mission of the epilogue. I mean, I guess you could say the same thing would happen if you tried to bring any sort of dead body into camp, but I didn't realize that would happen. I knew when we brought back the tied up enemy, we had to cut them free, but if one eventually made their way onto the camp, Abigail would attack them and whatnot. But I didn't know that you would just get completely rejected here. That's kind of interesting. And I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below if you have any other experiments that we could do with Micah's body. I'm pretty sure we've covered all of them. I mean, honestly, there are limitless possibilities that you could do in terms of, dumping it somewhere, destroying it. But if you have something interesting, let me know in the comments down below, or you can reach out to me on my Facebook page down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.